All right, let's dive deep into the perplexing world of the Vancouver Canucks. This isn't just a game, it's a narrative unfolding before our very eyes, a story of potential and frustration played out on the ice. Get ready for an in-depth look at a team that's keeping everyone on the edge of their seats for all the wrong reasons. Are we watching a hockey team or a high-stakes game of he loves me not on ice? Because right now, the Vancouver Canucks are giving us whiplash, swinging wildly between moments of brilliance and stretches of utter bewilderment. Is this the bounce-back season we were promised, or are we witnessing a masterclass in self-sabotage, a team seemingly determined to snatch defeat from the jaws of, well, not victory, but at least consistency? Good evening, and welcome to an exclusive deep dive into the Vancouver Canucks season, a campaign that's already proving to be a head-scratcher for even the most seasoned hockey analysts. From the preseason buzz that had us all investing in their potential as a top-3 force in the Pacific Division, to the current reality that has us questioning everything, this team is a living, breathing paradox. We're talking about a Jekyll-and-Hyde act so pronounced it would make Robert Louis Stevenson proud. But in the cutthroat world of the NHL, such dramatic swings aren't the stuff of literary genius. They're the stuff of missed playoff berths and shattered expectations. Let's not mince words. The Canucks' current 7-8-0 record doesn't just lack confidence, it screams mediocrity. With a .467 points percentage, they're currently languishing in 6th place in the Pacific, teetering precariously on the edge of the playoff picture, looking in rather than being firmly entrenched. But to truly grasp the depth of this team's identity crisis, we need to peel back the layers and examine the unsettling patterns that have emerged. Early in the season, a glimmer of hope, a beacon of what could be, shone brightly. A 3-game win streak propelled them to a respectable 4-2-0 record. They didn't just beat any teams. They took down formidable opponents like Dallas and Washington, showcasing a tenacity and skill that hinted at their true capabilities. They even handled the Chicago Blackhawks, a game they were widely expected to win, with a professional demeanor. For a fleeting moment, it felt like the prophecy was being fulfilled, that the Canucks were indeed ready to reclaim their place among the league's elite. The faithful dared to dream, to believe that the struggles of yesteryear were firmly in the rearview mirror. But then, as if on cue, the other shoe dropped. Or rather, the entire closet of shoes came crashing down. Immediately following that promising run, the Canucks embarked on a 3-game losing streak, systematically giving back every single point they had so painstakingly earned. It was a stark, brutal reminder that in the NHL, momentum is a fickle mistress, and consistency is the ultimate currency. Since that disheartening reversal, the team has been utterly unable to string together even a modest 2-game win streak. Think about that for a moment. In a league where sustained success is built on momentum, on building winning habits, the Canucks are stuck in a perpetual cycle of one step forward, one step back. It's like watching a car trying to climb a hill with a faulty transmission, constantly slipping back down just as it gains traction. And here's where the real killer instinct, or rather, the lack thereof, comes into play. All 7 of their losses this year have come in regulation. Every single one. In a league that generously awards loser points for games extended to overtime or shootouts, the Canucks have left every single one of those potential points on the table. These aren't just statistics. These are critical, tangible points that by season's end could very easily be the difference between a hard-fought playoff berth and another agonizing summer of what-ifs. Imagine the frustration, the sheer agony of knowing that a single extra point from each of those regulation losses could fundamentally alter their standing, their trajectory, their entire season narrative. It's a stark illustration of a team that, when it falters, falters completely, leaving no room for consolation. The numbers paint an even grimmer picture of their overall performance. The Canucks currently rank 6th fewest in goals for per game across the entire league. Let that sink in. A team aspiring for playoff contention, struggling to put the puck in the net with any regularity. And on the flip side, they're allowing the 9th most goals against per game. This isn't just a problem, it's a fundamental imbalance, a recipe for disaster. It speaks to a team that struggles to generate consistent offense while simultaneously exhibiting concerning defensive vulnerabilities. It's a double-edged sword cutting deep into their aspirations. Individually, the story isn't much brighter. While Connor Garland leads the team with 11 points in 12 games, a respectable pace, the stark reality is that nobody on the entire squad is averaging at least a point per game. Not a single player. In a league increasingly dominated by offensive firepower and superstar performances, the Canucks are conspicuously lacking that consistent game-breaking offensive presence. Elias Pettersson, a player many expected to lead the charge, has shown flashes of his brilliant two-way play, demonstrating his commitment to both ends of the ice. However, his scoring touch, which was supposed to bounce back with renewed vigor, has been subdued with 10 points in 15 games. While his defensive contributions are invaluable, the team desperately needs him to rediscover his offensive swagger, to be the dynamic force that can single-handedly turn the tide of a game. The problems, it seems, are many and varied, a complex tapestry of underperformance and misfortune. Yet, despite the mounting evidence, we still cling to the belief that there's enough bedrock talent within this Vancouver roster to be a playoff team. When you look at players like Quinn Hughes, a dynamic defenseman who can dictate the pace of play, Thatcher Demko, a goaltender capable of stealing games, and Elias Pettersson, even with his current scoring struggles, a genuine star with immense potential, the raw materials are undeniably there. These are players who can contribute meaningfully to a playoff-bound team, players who, on their best nights, can elevate the entire squad. But here's the rub. As it stands this year, there are more than a few passengers on this journey. Players who, by virtue of their contracts or their perceived roles, are expected to be driving forces, yet are currently contributing far less than anticipated. The collective output from some key offensive players, whose salaries suggest a much higher level of impact, has been underwhelming. This isn't just about individual statistics. It's about the ripple effect on the team's overall offensive production and its ability to generate consistent scoring chances. When high-value assets aren't delivering, the burden falls disproportionately on the shoulders of the few who are performing, creating an unsustainable dynamic. Of course, we cannot ignore the elephant in the room: injuries. The infirmary has seen its fair share of traffic, with players like Philip Chittle, Nils Hoglander, Teddy Bluger, Jonathan Lekkerimäki, Derek Forbort, and Victor Mancini all missing time. Quinn Hughes, a cornerstone of their defense, also missed some crucial games in October. Injuries are an undeniable part of the game, and they certainly factor into a team's results. It's easy to point to a depleted roster and say, well, what do you expect? However, and this is a critical distinction, these injuries cannot be the sole, all-encompassing excuse for every single stumble. Dropping games to teams like Chicago, Nashville, and St. Louis, and suffering a blowout 5-1 loss to Pittsburgh on October 21st cannot be entirely written off due to players being sidelined. There are still enough good players, enough talent and experience in the lineup at all positions to handle these matchups with greater resolve and consistency. A truly resilient team finds ways to win, or at least to compete fiercely, even when facing adversity. The current Canucks, unfortunately, have too often wilted under pressure, even against opponents they should be capable of handling. If you subscribe to the adage that you are what your record says you are, then the Canucks are, by definition, a ho-hum squad. They are stuck in a dangerous purgatory, a mushy middle, where they are neither good enough to contend for a playoff spot with any certainty, nor bad enough to be considered a favorite for a top pick in the draft lottery. This is the worst place to be in professional sports, perpetually treading water, unable to make significant progress in either direction. This pattern of losing a game, then winning a game, or vice versa, is a recipe for stagnation, a guaranteed path to finishing just outside the playoff picture, leaving fans and management alike in a state of perpetual frustration. So, what's the solution? The answer, while simple in concept, is incredibly challenging in execution. The Canucks have to fundamentally change this pattern. They need to break free from this self-defeating cycle by winning a slew of games, not just one here and there. The only way they're going to get on that track to the postseason to truly fulfill the promise that many saw in them is by shaking off this debilitating Jekyll-and-Hyde act. They must find a way to consistently put themselves in the W column far more often than not. It requires a collective commitment, a renewed focus, and perhaps a hard look in the mirror for every single player and coach. The talent is there, the potential is undeniable, but the execution, the consistency, the sheer will to win night in and night out, that's what's missing. This isn't just about making the playoffs. It's about establishing an identity, about proving to themselves and to their passionate fan base that they are a serious contender, not just a team capable of flashes of brilliance. The clock is ticking, and the margin for error is shrinking with every regulation loss. As we look ahead, the path for the Vancouver Canucks is clear, yet fraught with challenges. They stand at a crossroads, with the opportunity to either embrace the identity of a resilient, playoff-bound team or to continue down the path of frustrating inconsistency. The narrative of their season is still being written, but the pen is firmly in their hands. Will they choose to write a story of redemption and triumph, or one of unfulfilled potential and what-ifs? The answer lies not in individual heroics alone, but in the collective will to shed this dual personality and forge a singular winning identity. It's time for the Canucks to decide which version of themselves they truly want to be. What do you think needs to happen for the Canucks to finally shake off this Jekyll-and-Hyde act? Is it a coaching adjustment, a lineup change, or simply a shift in mindset? We want to hear your thoughts, your frustrations, and your hopes for this team. Drop a comment below, and let's get this conversation going. And if you found this deep dive insightful, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more exclusive analysis and passionate takes on the world of hockey. Your engagement fuels our coverage, and we truly appreciate your support.